Good morning, welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. Y'all, today is Monday morning. We have had a very long, eventful, crazy ass peach, pussy ass hoe weekend. As we know, Peach is the biggest of the pussy ass hoes. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about, but anyway. So after this weekend, I just wanted to start the week off with this video, just recapping what happened over the weekend, starting Thursday, and just kind of touching bases on what we expect moving forward this week. Now let's start Thursday. Thursday, Peach went to her kids' tutoring and the children had a bag of food. Now, one story was that they pulled the kids out the class to give them the food. Another story was that her daughter Gorgeous came in, and when she came in from playing on the playground, the food was on her desk. Because the food was on her desk, other kids were asking, why did she have the food? Where did it come from? All of this, which they were asking her. She was not sure. And let Peach McIntyre tell it made her daughter feel a type of way. So when she came home, or should I say when she went to tutoring and got with her mom, she was like, Mom, did you sign us up for a program? And that's when she showed her mom the food. And once she showed her mom the food, her mother called the school, and then we saw what we saw. Her going up there acting a damn jackass. Instead of calling the school and trying to gather intel so she knew how to proceed, she just went apeshit. So Peach went to the school, like I said, went apeshit, gathered absolutely no intel, and then put herself on the offense, put the school on defense. So now she's not going to get any information. So what should have happened is once she found out what happened, she knew how to move forward. But that's not where we are. Friday, she goes back to the school, so she says, to have a meeting with the school. Of course, she gets there, sees an officer. She's then immediately threatened because she knows she can't act apeshit anymore or she might take her ass to jail. So she chilled out. Now, here is where Peach really proved to us that the situation with the kids was not her main concern. If she really cared about her kids, she would have took that meeting regardless to whether she could record or not, and then immediately came out and told us whatever happened. Of course, she did not do that. So at that moment, we knew that her kids were not her concern. Her ego was her concern. Peach used Lakewood Ranch as a form of status. For her, it meant that she was somebody. She's got money and she has the right to be out there. Now, although she was evicted from out there and no longer lives in the area, she still used her being in the area as status. So she gets up every morning at 4 o'clock and drives her kids out to this school. Now, one interesting thing that most people did not talk about is the fact that when she went to have the meeting, it wasn't just with that school's administrator. It was with the upper school's principal as well, which I thought was very interesting. They maybe wanted to discuss the fact that she's already not living in the area. And now here she comes with this drama. Hey, maybe you should just not have your kids here or something of that nature. We don't know what was going to happen, obviously, because the meeting did not occur. Now, fast forward, Friday happened. Now, Peach claims her daughter was so distraught and embarrassed by what happened with the bag that she had to take her child out of school early. Now, that's the thing she said yesterday, Sunday evening. She never mentioned that before this point. But nonetheless, that's what she said. So from Friday afternoon all the way to late Saturday night. Excuse me, Sunday night. PeaCH went on a smear campaign against Feeding Empty Little Tummies, the organization who provided the bags to the school. Now, as I stated, PeaCH spent the weekend on a smear campaign since she could not be aggressive against the school, or maybe she chose not to be aggressive towards the school as a calculated move because in her feeble brain, she felt like as long as she wasn't aggressive against the school, it wouldn't cause her a problem with her children attending there. Remember, guys, this is her status location. Lakewood Ranch is her status location. Because she is there, she feels that makes her a celebrity, that she is famous and privileged because she is out there with the upper echelon. Now, one of the ways that she shows that she's not very smart is the fact that, number one, being in a class full of people who do not look like you does not make the school a better school. Just because the people that live in that area are, unlike you. You know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, that's already showing that she's not too bright. But also, putting your children in a position to where they are the only of their kind in a class, to me, is also not safe and for your child. Not because you know something is going to happen, but you just leave so much open to other people to control. I just didn't think it was a smart move. I mean, that's her business if that's what she want to do, but it's not very bright. Quite frankly, if being at a top education level was her goal, she should have made sure her kids were already caught up. These are kids that are a burden to the Lakewood Ranch system. Let's just be honest about it. Her kids can't read. Her kids are behind intellectually. They all seem to have some type of deficiencies. They can't, some of them even speak well. And we know for a fact Gregory McKay has a learning disability because she said that he can't test well. He has to have special needs with that. The other kids may have the same situations, but we don't know because she's never taken the time to test them. But I digress. So she focused on all the details. She focused on the mission statement of the nonprofit, the fact of if versus not, do they have permission slips. Now, we're in a bad place in America if you have to have permission to help people in need. Most of the time, when the schools identify something, they work to fix it, especially if it makes the education experience for the kid better. This, what you just saw on the screen, was the criteria used when the schools order the bags. So, like I said, all weekend, PeaCH spent time smearing the name of this company, trying to make them responsible for what happened, but it is the school that's responsible. If you see right here on the screen, this is where the school actually goes and orders the food for the next week. This is a collaborative effort that Feeding Empty Little Tummies has made with the schools in that area. So they have absolutely nothing to do with what goes on at the school. And the fact that PeaCH has went and tried to take every little detail on this site and pick it apart. She's even tried to accuse them of taking money and misappropriating it by giving food to people who she feels is not in need. And she's also went so far as to say the lady is taking money and not really doing the job that the mission statement denotes. Anybody who has ever dealt with like a nonprofit organization or any kind of organization understands that there is a main mission statement. That's the purpose that you created this venture. And then a lot of times, along with that comes other things. For example, I know someone who started in their house when kids would come home in the projects after school. They would let the kids come over, that she would help them with their homework. Just find something for them to do instead of being at home alone while their mothers were at work. That turned into an organization. Just keeping kids out of trouble, helping them with homework. She got a building from the city that was donated to her, like it became something. And I'm sure that's where this came from. We don't know this lady's story, but long story short, that's how things like that start. Well, anyway, PeaCH, the person who never follows rules, the person who is always starting trouble, who doesn't take the time to make sure things are good, who didn't even take the time to ensure that her kids were properly vetted for this school. A school filled with a lot of kids who probably are intellectually where they belong. She put her kids in a situation that wasn't the best for them. We saw that she just took McIntyre out of school. Why? Because he's not measuring up. He's probably falling behind. And instead of making sure that he was in a successful situation, she's more concerned about the status of things. Well, anyway, so the kids are there. She did not go and attack the school. Instead, she went after this organization and has been on a smear campaign all weekend. She's had people on TikTok, a place that she's also not supposed to be. She was kicked off of TikTok twice. Even her husband was kicked off of TikTok. But yet she's over there under an assumed page, a Relentless PeaCH, and doing the same thing, causing trouble, wreaking havoc. And since she was embarrassed, actually mortified, belittled, put in her place, she's angry. So she's lashing out at this organization. Now, she's done enough just even over this weekend to be put under a strict cease and desist, and for them to take action against her, because quite frankly, I don't know if they intended to do the kids wrong. And when it comes to this organization, it doesn't matter, because the organization has nothing to do with her and her children. But she spent all weekend taking their content, putting it on her page. Somebody who hates for others to do that to her, and using it to incite negative behavior. What is it they call it? Rage baiting. That's what she's been doing. Saying and doing things to make others upset so that they too would attack these people. She's even got content creators reaching out to this organization, going over on the organization's page. It is just so embarrassing. It is so piss poor as far as the behavior is concerned. I mean, I even said, you guys, that if my child was done like that, I would feel a type of way, especially if I didn't have all the details. But before I acted to make sure of the best interest of my child, I would have went and put in the effort to find out what happened. Make sure I had all the details, because one thing I'm not finna look is stupid. Another thing I'm not finna do is make a situation worse for my kid. And another thing I'm not finna do is put my child in a hostile environment. Not gonna do it. She did all three of them. And she all but called this lady a thief. And here's the thing. If PeaCH was the type that did not accept from people things, that would be one thing. She just had a CPS intervention not 90 days ago. Within the last 90 days, what did she do? She asked for food for the summer. She asked for free swim lessons. A lot of bullshit that is not important to kids who can't read. She should have been asking for summer tutoring, things of that nature. Okay, but instead, ignorant people do ignorant things. Now, again, I'm going to be clear. I don't know if this was a good or bad situation. Was her kids targeted? Were they racially profiled? And I would be pissed if they were. Even though, I have a lot of negative to say. PeaCH gives us so much negative to say, but I would feel a ways if those kids were done like that. But the problem is, it is not between her and the woman at Felt. The issue is between her and the school. So what will happen today, guys? Do you feel like the school will interact and intervene with her? Because my understanding is people have not only called the Felt organization, but people have been making calls and sending emails to the schools as well. Like, this is going to be a hot ass mess. Do you think the school will ask the kids to leave? Do you think PeaCH will pull her kids? She claims she had to go pick her daughter up from school Friday. Did she? We don't know. Shit, she lied so damn much. And also, if your daughter was that bothered, why would you even let her go to school Friday? If she was embarrassed to the point that the kids, made her feel a ways, my baby would have been at home until I could make sure the environment was one that's structurally sound. Because if she is at school and she's feeling the type of ways about things that happen, she's not going to be able to learn. That's not going to be a good environment for her or the children. And quite frankly, after the way PeaCH acted, I would have to have a meeting with her as a principal before I will allow her back on our premises and allow the kids back to the school. It's just, I would have to. So guys, let's in the comments discuss this. What do you guys think is going to happen? How do you feel? Do you feel that the school did try to profile her kids unfairly? Also, like I said, all of this is not about the kids. It's about PeaCH's ego. She's ashamed. She's embarrassed. She's mortified. They belittled her. They put her in the place they feel that she is. They don't feel she's famous. They don't feel she's a celebrity. And they damn sure don't feel she's privileged. No woman walking around with these two-year-old puff balls in their head with a nappy ass child's hair that's always nappy. Son's hair don't look like it's ever been combed in life. These are not the way you present your children when you are privileged. Also, the fact that they are in threat of homelessness. They were just evicted in March. Actually evicted. So there are so many things that stack up against PeaCH that we don't know what happened. And, people are out here saying, oh, well, PeaCH asked for help this summer. She didn't ask for this. She didn't. Let's be honest. She didn't. Unless y'all got something showing her signature. And I'm sure waiting to see that she didn't ask for this. She's an asshole for this, but she didn't ask for this. Anyway, guys, tell me what you all think. Anything could have caused this, but do you guys think it was ill intent? And where do you think things are going to go? Do you think the kids will be put out of school or no? Do you think she handled it right or no? Do you think there was ill intent or no? And this overall idealism. Do you think that the nonprofit will just try to ride this out, or do you think that they will commit some type of action? Me personally, I'd tell her ass up. I'm just being real, because it was uncalled for how she has handled this. Anyway, guys, we'll continue this conversation in the comments. Happy Monday, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And y'all be sure to hype me up now. Hype me up. Hype me up. I need y'all to hype me up. See you in the next one. Bye.